Faced with the daunting prospect of selecting one representative figure from the 17th century, I would eventually have little hesitation in choosing Rubens, whose life and work offer such eloquent testimony of both the spirit and the history of the period. Artist in the widest sense, who was involved in the creation of prints, sculpture, and architecture, as well as painting, Rubens was also a very well-versed scholar of classical art and literature, an enthusiastic collector of a wide range of art and artifacts, an active participant in the politics and diplomacy of the age, and as his extensive correspondence with an international group of friends and acquaintances shows, much engaged in the events and preoccupations of the day. He was, moreover, well-traveled, and remarkably for an artist of the century, on intimate terms with many of the kings and princes and rulers of the major European countries. Possibly more than any other artist, he could claim to be the homo universal of his epoch. Conversely, one can argue that much of his work, unlike that of many of the northern contemporaries, cannot fully be understood unless it is considered in its social and historical context. The landscapes, portraits, and many of the more popular religious and mythological subjects speak to us directly, but much else was created on special demand to meet contemporary needs. As the expression of a great artist, the most abstruse, historical, or allegorical subject will convey something to the modern spectator. But a full appreciation of Rubens' achievements can be gleaned only from a knowledge of the background against which it was created. In attempting a balanced, general account of the artist's life and work, I have tried to present the man and his work as an embodiment of his times. When faced with the death of Isabella, Rubens expressed himself unable to live up to the precepts by which he sought to conduct his life. You do well to remind me of the necessity of fate, which does not comply with our passions, and which, as an expression of the supreme power, is not obliged to render us an account of our actions. It has absolute dominion over all things, and we have only to serve and obey. There is nothing to do, in my opinion, but to make this servitude more honorable and less painful by submitting willingly. But at present such a duty seems neither easy nor even possible. You are very prudent in commending me to time, and I hope this will do for me what reason ought to do. For I have no pretensions about ever attaining a stoic equanimity. I do not believe that human feelings so closely in accord with their object are unbecoming to man's nature, or that one can be equally indifferent to all things in the world. Fate has decreed that you are obliged to render an account of your actions. There is nothing to do, in my opinion, but to make your servitude more honorable and less painful by submitting willingly. What? Can you hear me now? Yes, I said fate has decreed that you are obliged to render an account of your actions. You mean all the terrible things I did in Genesis and all the horrible plagues and destructions and cursings in Leviticus and Exodus and Numbers and the unholy, terrible things I did in Deuteronomy? Yes! What should I do then? There is nothing to do, in my opinion, but to make your servitude more honorable and less painful by submitting willingly. What? What? Say that again? I said there's nothing for you to do but to go down there and give up your life. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yes. Ye gods and little fishes, my so-called brother John has reinvented himself, with my mayor's assistance, as the Roman historian Tacitus, who convicts my father with the sin of suicide to keep him in hell. I have no alternative than to neutralize that lie of history, than to reinvent myself as the artist Peter Paul Rubens. At present, such duty seems neither easy nor even possible. Remember me, Johnny Tacitus? Oh my God, jeez, what are you doing here? Before Abraham was, I am. I'm the great god Horus. I am Nero, who condemned my father to an assisted suicide. You are very prudent in commending me to time, and I hope this will do for me what reason ought to do. I have no pretensions about ever attaining a stoic equanimity. I do not believe that human feelings so closely in accord with their object are unbecoming to man's nature, or can be equally indifferent to all things in this world. Rubens put his finger firmly on the nature of his character when he declared, "As for me, I assure you that in public affairs I am the most dispassionate man in the world, except where my property and person are concerned." Detachment allowed him a very objective view of the world at large. He was doubtless right when he claimed that he could provide an historian with much material, and the pure truth of the case very different from that which is generally believed.
nothing here. Let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches.
To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, saving he that receiveth it. As anyone who has tried his hand will know, the arena of Rubens' studies is not for lightweights, and the writer who ventures to enter must be aware that he faces 3 formidable obstacles. John. I find this very suspicious, John. Let's do the math. My son was crucified at the age of 33. Now, 1,600 years later, he returns as the devout Catholic Peter Paul Rubens. Shh, John, please. And now he's born again at the end of June 1577, and at the end of June 1610, at the age of 33, he's signing a contract to paint the high altar at St. Walburga. John, please, please. 1610. Now it's 1610, and he's calling it the Raising of the Cross Triptych. Shh, John, shh. He's painting his crucifixion, John, that's it. The way it actually happened with that beast deadbeat father of his hung upside down. John, shh, be quiet. He's not in the triptych now, but I feel it in my bones he's going to put it in. We're the sketches now, John. He's sending for approval to the church authorities, but he's going to pull a fast one on us, John. He's going to pull that rabid father of his out of his hat. John, shut up, will you, please? What's the matter with you? I'll give you 3-to-1 odds. Eli will be in one of these 3 panels. John, pull yourself together. My own son has betrayed me. Betrayed Mother Church. So he's got the Council of Trent now, wondering what he's doing painting 4 thieves in his painting. He's rented a sail, John. Do you know that? He's rented a sail that he's going to put in front of that monster, I'll bet. And then presto changeo, Eli. God, what am I going to do? We've got to work together. John, we have to work together. Listen to me, John. Listen to your mother. I am your new mother. Yes, I know, Mother Mary. But I have to explain. You'll explain everything. I just want you to know we've got to get rid of it. You're Johnny Angel. Don't you understand that? We're making you into Van Dyke, only second to Rubens. Only second to what's going on? Our hands. John, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. You've got to get that left panel out and put in another panel. He's got to know what we think of what we're doing. Johnny Angel. It's the rocky escarpment, Mother Mary. The what? The rock behind us, Mother Mary. Will you finally listen to me, please? Rubens is utilizing the rock as a device, a visual ploy, if you will, to sneak his father into his crucifixion paintings. I was right then. Just like his father, Jan. He's a Catholic only as a convenience. He's a subversive Calvinist. Even worse, Mother Mary, he has painted a snapshot picture of his father, exactly the way he was killed. He's using that as a prototype for cells throughout all of the community of St. Luke Gills. He's called the back end view of this painting St. George and the Dragon. But there's no dragon in the picture, Mother Mary. Only the several ages of the old dragon god that he's dragged in. I have powerful militant organizations behind me. I'll scatter the pieces that Rubens paints. I'll scatter the puzzle throughout the world. They're too beautiful to destroy. I'll have them dispersed onto the walls of England to Russia.
Hey, if you're God the Father, show us. Come on down from your double cross and save your son. Yeah, they're elevating his cross on the other side. Stop them. Come on, God, if you're the maker, make your son out of there.
Hey, I got a better idea.
What's that?
You're done. Good, God. If you're done, cause your face down to shine.
Cause your face to shine, God. Shine on us.
Shine.
Oh, shit, did you see that? Oh, my God, he did it. He did it. Hey, fry him. Fry that vegetarian carnivore. Yeah, he devoured his own children. Fry the thing. Fry the thing.
Now, I have St. George on my side, all the organizations, and the Jews will keep it quiet, and John Anthony Van Dyke. You're with me, aren't you, Johnny? Yes, Mother. Yes, Mother Mary. Take the scapegoat behind the scarlet curtains. Consider it done, Mother Mary. Take it to Jacob Jordan's scarlet curtains and bury it there. Bury the scapegoat there. Hail, Mother Mary, the fruit of my womb. No. It's Hail, Mother Mary, the fruit of my womb. The Hail is for you when you get rid of the Jew. Ah, the sheet! The sheet! It's there again! I'm on the case, Mother Mary! Johnny on the spot! I shall find comfort in the true cross, and I shall purify the church of all subversive elements. Look, Mother Mary! Look, Mother Mary, what he's done to our hands!
Peter Pan Rubens has made a grotesque monster out of our hands.
I knew it. He's a subversive. He's worse than you can imagine. We need backup. We have to get the graces.
As anyone who has tried his hand will know, the arena of Rubens' studies is not for lightweights, and the writer who ventures to enter must be aware that he faces 3 formidable obstacles. Constrain him, detain him, drain him. He's strayed across the dividing lines. Let Argos' cries become our eyes. We'll watch him everywhere he goes. Rubens, river of forgetfulness, garden of lazy indolence, pillow of flesh where you cannot love, but where life tumbles and flows without rest, like air in the sky and water in the sea. Baudelaire. The tenuous rulers of the Netherlands, Albert and Isabella, wished Rubens to paint their portraits, and this no doubt was the first official duty he had to undertake. Whether the pair we know today, plates 74 and 75, represent Rubens' first state portraits, or, as style suggests, slightly later revisions, they provide powerful images of rulers made the more striking by their brilliant scarlet backgrounds, evoking a fiery sunset. In knee-length poses, probably suggested by Titian's imperial portraits, Albert is seen standing, one hand on his sword hilt, while Isabella is seated holding a fan. The unfinished parts, notably his right hand and his wife's fan, may indicate that they were ad vivum studies retained in the master's studio as models for the inevitable repetition required of an official state portrait. Philip Rubens informs us that Albert had a particular fondness for Rubens. In fact, Peter Paul named his first son, Albert, after the Archduke. Why not, Infanta Isabella? Why can't I? You're not going to display the skin to Monsieur Rubens, period. We've gone through this 1,000 times. But then he'll never finish our portraits. He's waiting for you to give him permission to show him the skin so he can put it on my hand. It'll be just another mine in the minefield of Rubensforshung. No. Can you imagine all of Europe with Spirit of Truth hand puppets? But look, Infanta Isabella, look at how well it fits on my hand. I have the exact same scars on my hand that God had on his when they put that leather metal snare implanted in his hand. Look. Oh, Albert, you're such a silly old fool with that foolish hand hat of yours with a finger missing. You know, the crowds laugh at you. And I'm also a member of the Council of Trent. Do you know that? But it would be a gift for Albert, my godson. Come to bed, Albert. There's something I want to show you. Yes, Infanta Isabella. You know, Albert, if anything should ever happen to you, I would never marry again. What is that supposed to mean, Infanta Isabella? My powers of state would diminish, I would mourn for you, and renounce the world by taking the order of poor Claire. But why should anything happen to me? Because you're not up to the task. The God of the Old Testament wasn't, and you're representing him, and you're not up to it too. What's going on here? You don't behave like an insect, like a praying mantis supposed to behave. Infanta Isabella, stop it! Oh, help, help! A praying mantis meat for me! Oh, Infanta Isabella! Oh. Isabella was also a person of caliber, but her true personality came to light only in later years after her husband's death, when Rubens was there to see and admire it, and to serve her. Voila, Peter Paul, the crown pelican's skin. Oh, poor Albert would have enjoyed so much showing you God's skin, but sadly this is all that's left of him, and though I remain a poor substitute, you may paint it in my hands. It was removed from Elias's right hand during the second phase of his execution. The Virgin got the holy meat. But you know everything anyway, you naughty man, remarrying with a girl that could be your granddaughter. I have another surprise for you. I am appointing you my unofficial but trusted envoy. All I want is peace between England and Spain. Now, before you remarry, let us not tarry. Let this widow see it and admire it. What? Your skin flute, of course. Oh, look what Franz did, Albert and Nicholas. He buried the stake into Mommy's heart. See? Yes. All right. Show Franz the Spirit of Hand truth puppet. Whoops! It saw Clara's ghost. Put the comforter over your head, Nicholas. I am the black African fisherman, God in flesh. When I saw that Adam and Eve deceived me, I turned pale white from shame, and knowledge told me I had to be sacrificed for making coats of skin.
Mommy, I gotta go potty.
Practice trompe l'oeil, boys. John uses Christ's blood as paint, putting holes in his hands. Franz is back. If nobody knows the old man died, then how can his son take control? John and Mary have power of attorney. Romans 6:6. Knowing then that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we shall not serve sin.
God's angel took me up, and he of hell shouted, O thou from heaven, why dost thou rob me?
Mother Mary, we've hit a minefield in the minefields of Rubensforshung.
What? He says I am conscious that I've strayed across the dividing line more than I would. Christopher White says that, but that's Rubens. It's a pseudonym. We're in a book, Mother Mary. We're in a book.
Oh, gotta go real bad.
You do well to remind me of the necessity of the Book of Revelations, John, which does not comply with our passions, and which is an expression of the supreme power, is not obliged to render us an account of its actions. It has absolute dominion over all things, and we have only to serve and obey.
Obey! What do we do? What do we do?
There is nothing to do, in my opinion, but to make this servitude more honorable and less painful by submitting willingly. But at present, such a duty seems neither easy nor even possible.